History is not merely a collection of dates and names, it is a narrative, a story that shapes our understanding of the world and our place within it. But what happens when those in power manipulate this narrative? When governments control the stories we are told about the past, they control the lens through which we view the present and the future. This manipulation of history is not a new phenomenon. Throughout time, regimes have sought to mold historical narratives to legitimize their rule and silence dissenting voices. Russia, with its turbulent and complex past, offers a compelling case study in the dangers of state-controlled history. The seeds of censorship in Russia were sown long before the Soviet era. The roots of this practice can be traced back to the 16th century, a time when the Tsarist regime sought to consolidate its power and control over the populace. In the 16th century, Tsar Ivan IV, also known as Ivan the Terrible, convened the Stoglav Council. This council was a significant event in Russian history, marking a pivotal moment in the centralization of power under the Tsar. The Stoglav Council was a gathering of church and state officials, brought together with the primary aim of solidifying the Tsar's authority. The council's decisions were instrumental in centralizing power and ensuring that the Tsar's influence permeated every aspect of Russian life. One of the council's key outcomes was the establishment of strict censorship laws. These laws were designed to suppress religious dissent and consolidate the Tsar's control over information. By controlling what could be read and discussed, the Tsar ensured that any potential threats to his authority were swiftly neutralized. This early example of censorship foreshadowed the systematic suppression of free thought that would characterize later regimes. The Tsar's control over information was not just about maintaining power, it was also about shaping the narrative and ensuring that the official version of events was the only one that the populace could access. The actions of the Stoglav Council demonstrate how the desire to control the narrative is not unique to modern authoritarianism, but has deep roots in Russia's past. The Council's decisions set a precedent for future regimes, showing that the control of information is a powerful tool in maintaining authority. This historical context helps us understand the long-standing tradition of censorship in Russia and its impact on the country's development. By examining the Stoglav Council and its outcomes, we gain insight into the early mechanisms of control that would shape Russian society for centuries to come. The Council's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of censorship and the lengths to which rulers will go to maintain their grip on power. The Soviet Union took state control of history to an unprecedented level. Glavlit, the Soviet censorship agency, wielded immense power, meticulously scrutinizing every piece of literature, art, and media for any deviation from the official party line. Glavlit was the invisible hand shaping the Soviet narrative, ensuring that only information that bolstered the regime's ideology reached the public. This systematic suppression of dissenting voices created a climate of fear and self-censorship, stifling intellectual discourse and critical thinking. The consequences of Glavlit's actions continue to resonate today, as Russia grapples with the legacy of a history shrouded in secrecy and distortion. The fall of the Soviet Union did not signal the end of historical revisionism in Russia. In recent years, there has been a concerted effort to reshape the narrative of the Soviet period, downplaying its atrocities and emphasizing its perceived achievements. This manipulation is most evident in the rewriting of history textbooks used in Russian schools. These textbooks often present a sanitized version of the past, glossing over the horrors of Stalinist repression and portraying Russia as a victim of Western aggression. Section 5. Putin's narrative shaping history in the 21st century. President Vladimir Putin has played a pivotal role in this historical revisionism. Putin has repeatedly emphasized the need for a strong Russia, drawing on a nostalgic vision of the country's imperial past to bolster national pride and justify his own authoritarian tendencies. This manipulation of history serves to legitimize Putin's rule, creating a narrative in which dissent is tantamount to treason, and any criticism of the government is portrayed as an attack on Russia itself. Section 6. Muzzling the media restrictions on independent voices. The Kremlin's efforts to control the historical narrative extend beyond textbooks and into the realm of media and journalism. Independent media outlets in Russia face increasing pressure and censorship, with journalists who dare to challenge the official line facing harassment, intimidation, and even imprisonment. The space for free and open debate is shrinking, as the government tightens its grip on information and seeks to silence dissenting voices. Section 7. The Digital Iron Curtain Censorship in the Age of the Internet. The Internet, once hailed as a revolutionary tool for democratization and the free flow of information, has become another battleground in the fight against censorship in Russia. Initially, the Internet promised a new era of open communication where ideas could be shared freely across borders, and voices previously silenced could be heard. However, this promise has been increasingly undermined by state control and surveillance. The Russian government has implemented sophisticated censorship mechanisms, blocking access to websites and social media platforms deemed critical of the regime. These measures are not just about blocking content, but also about creating a climate of fear and self-censorship among internet users. The authorities employ a range of tactics, from outright bans to more subtle forms of digital interference, to maintain their grip on information. This digital iron curtain seeks to control the flow of information and limit exposure to alternative viewpoints. By restricting access to independent news sources and social media, the government aims to shape public perception and stifle dissent. The censorship apparatus is constantly evolving, employing advanced technologies to monitor and filter online content, making it increasingly difficult for citizens to access unbiased information. Despite these efforts, many Russians are circumventing censorship through the use of virtual private networks, or VPNs. VPNs allow users to mask their location and access blocked websites, providing a lifeline to the outside world. This has led to a digital arms race, with the government continually seeking new ways to block VPNs and other circumvention tools, while tech-savvy citizens find new methods to bypass these restrictions. This digital cat-and-mouse game highlights the enduring human desire for truth and the lengths to which people will go to access uncensored information. It underscores the resilience and ingenuity of individuals who refuse to be silenced, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The struggle for internet freedom in Russia is a testament to the power of information and the unyielding human spirit in the quest for truth and transparency. Section 8. Voices of Defiance, Cultural Figures Challenging the Narrative. Despite the risks, courageous individuals and groups within Russia continue to challenge the official narrative and expose the truth about the country's past. These brave souls, often at great personal cost, strive to bring to light the stories that the government would rather keep hidden. They are the torchbearers of truth, illuminating the dark corners of history that have been obscured by propaganda and censorship. Musicians, artists, and writers risk their careers and their freedom to shed light to suppressed history and give voice to the voiceless. Their art becomes a form of resistance, a powerful tool to question and challenge the status quo. Through their music, paintings, and writings, they communicate messages of hope, resilience, and defiance, inspiring others to join the cause and stand up against oppression. These acts of defiance, often met with swift and brutal repression, are a testament to the enduring human spirit and the power of truth to resist even the most oppressive regimes. The authorities may try to silence them through intimidation, arrests, and violence, but the spirit of resistance remains unbroken. Each act of courage adds to a growing movement that seeks justice and accountability. For example, Zemfira, a popular Russian rock singer, faced backlash and cancellation of concerts for speaking out against the war in Ukraine. Her music, which resonates with many, became a rallying cry for those opposed to the conflict. Despite the risks, she continues to use her platform to advocate for peace and human rights, showing that art can be a powerful force for change. Similarly, Alla Pugacheva, a revered pop icon, was labeled a foreign agent for criticizing the government's actions. Her bold stance has inspired many, proving that even those with much to lose can stand up for what is right. Pugacheva's legacy as a cultural icon is now intertwined with her role as a voice of dissent, demonstrating that true artistry is not just about entertainment, but also about speaking truth to power. Across Russia, underground art exhibitions, secret literary gatherings, and clandestine concerts continue to thrive, providing a space for free expression and resistance. These events are not just about art, they are about community, solidarity, and the unyielding belief in a better future. They remind us that even in the darkest times, creativity and courage can light the way forward. Section 9. Unmasking the truth. The importance of seeking uncensored history. The manipulation of history is a dangerous game. When governments control the past, they control the present and the future. It is our responsibility to be vigilant, to question official narratives, and to seek out suppressed truths. By understanding the ways in which history has been manipulated, we can better understand the present and work towards a future where history is a guide, not a tool of manipulation. The struggle for uncensored history is a struggle for truth, justice, and the very soul of a nation.